Good evening, viewers. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. In the matter of the last 24 hours, viewers, the illegal mining mafia of this country has killed 2 cops, a DSP in Haryana and a sub-inspector in Jharkhand. Is it time now to draw that proverbial line in the sand where illegal mining is concerned? Is it time for India to awaken to a blood sand awakening?
Mowed down ruthlessly around the brutally degraded ancient rocks. A day later, a woman sub-inspector meets a similar fate some 1,300 kilometers away on the outskirts of a capital city. And a traffic policeman fatally hit by a trailer at Anand in Gujarat. A mining mafia up in the north. A livestock mafia in the east. And a rogue driver in the west. 3 police personnel lost their lives in 3 separate incidents. A cleaner of the truck involved in the killing of DSP Surendra Singh at New taken into custody. And so has been the pickup driver in the Ranchi case. But the killings in Haryana and Jharkhand point towards bigger criminal networks.
DSP Taoru mowed down in broad daylight by illegal mafias in this very area of Pachgaon. Now, the place that I will show you is where he was mowed down. This is the crime spot where the driver mowed him down, and these stones that you see were the stones that were being illegally mined. The DSP at a tip-off reached this very spot when that very car was trying to take away these illegally mined stones, and in order to escape, he mowed down the DSP, which resulted in his death.
Rocks chipped out of the hills sold locally to the construction sector. Sources tell us that a truckload fetches 4,500 rupees in the grey market. But not much is known about the mystery mafia leaders running the operation blatantly. The DSP is in the first victim of mafia attack in the Aravali range. The police chief of Nu recalled how he and his team survived a hit-and-run assault during a night patrol in December.
During a night domination, and there were around 12 vehicles which I found, or they were overloaded. We could stop 11 of them, but the 12th one, he tried to run away. So meanwhile, when we were checking the 11 vehicles, the 12th one tried to run away, and he in turn then hit my vehicle, and I escaped narrowly. As per the preliminary investigation, and as what I know as so far, these are unorganized elements. They are working on their own for their own economic gains, and in independent villages there is no one syndicate that is controlling this thing.
Far away in Ranchi, the real masters of the livestock smuggling rings also remain underground. No explaining from law enforcement yet as to how these mafias have been able to carry out their operations with impunity thus far. With Satyajit Kumar in Ranchi, Bureau Report, India Today.
The illegal sand mafia, viewers, in the last, and we're going to play those graphics out, in the last just 1 year, has claimed 418 lives. 418 people have died at the hand of this sinister illegal mining mafia in the country. It's not subjected to just the state of Haryana or just the state of Jharkhand. Rajasthan, Karnataka, Uttarakhand, name it. Illegal sand mining is rampant, and so is this tenacious network where the mafia is concerned. I want to cut across this evening to Home Minister Haryana, Anil Vij, is joining us live. Appreciate you taking the time out and joining us. बहुत शुक्रिया कि आप हमसे जुड़े. I will also be joined by Dipinder Hooda from Haryana. I want to cut across to the Home Minister of Haryana first. With साहब बहुत शुक्रिया आप हमसे जुड़े. मेरा पहला सवाल यही है सर कि क्या एक्शन ले रही है हरियाणा की सरकार? अगर आप आंकड़े देखें तो जो केसेस हैं इलीगल माइनिंग के आप ही के राज में जो पिछले टर्म है और इस टर्म में बढ़ते ही जा रहे हैं.
नहीं, उसमें हमने एक आदमी को अरेस्ट कर लिया है और दूसरे को पकड़ने के लिए हमारी सारी पुलिस लगी हुई है और काफ़ी पुलिस हमने वहाँ पर उस क्षेत्र में डाली है हम घर घर जाकर स्कैनिंग भी कर रहे हैं और जल्दी ही हम दूसरे आदमी को भी पकड़ लेंगे।
विज साहब, अब कांग्रेस पार्टी, दीपिंदर हुड्डा भी है, मैं उनके पास आपके बाद जाऊंगी, पर जो कांग्रेस पार्टी है और जो भूपिंदर हुड्डा हैं, फॉर्मर सीएम रह चुके हैं, काफी टर्म हरियाणा को वो उन्होंने भी देखा है, वो कह रहे हैं कि आपकी सरकार छोटी मछलियों को पकड़ रही है, जो बिग फिश है, जो बड़ी मछलियां हैं वो ऐसे ही निकल रही हैं।
नहीं, भूपिंदर सिंह हुड्डा ने अपने राज में तो कभी कुछ करा नहीं। उनके राज में 1 मार्च 2005 को एफआईआर नंबर 96 है, सिमिलर इंसिडेंट हुआ था। उसी प्रकार 25 मई 2006 को एफआईआर नंबर 95 है, तब भी सिमिलर इंसिडेंट हुआ था और एक कांस्टेबल की डेथ हो गई थी। उसी प्रकार 2 नवंबर 2011 को 355 नंबर एफआईआर है। ये मैं हुड्डा साहब के पीरियड की बातें बता रहा हूं, उनके समय की बातें बता रहा हूं। और तब भी यह सिमिलर इंसिडेंट हुआ था और हमारे कई पुलिस के आदमी इंजर्ड हो गए थे और उन्होंने उनके ऊपर डंपर चढ़ा दिया था। उसी प्रकार से एफआईआर नंबर 100 है, ये है 29/3/2013 की। इसमें भी एक कांस्टेबल की डेथ हुई थी। तो हुड्डा साहब ने तो कभी कुछ करा नहीं। ये उनके टाइम का ही पनपा हुआ सारा माफिया है जो इस प्रकार के कर रहा है। हमने तो पूरी तरह से रोक लगा के रखी है और हमारा डीएसपी भी उसी कर्तव्य की पालना करते हुए ही शहीद हुआ है। तो हुड्डा साहब को तो कम से कम बोलने का अधिकार नहीं है।
विज साहब, चलिए भूपिंदर हुड्डा जी की ना सुने, पर अगर हम आपको आंकड़े भी दिखाएं विज साहब, जो आप ही की टर्म में है, जो एफआईआर हैं, आप देखिए हजारों की संख्या में एफआईआर होती थी पहले, वो ग्राफिक दिखाएंगे, जो पिछले साल आपके टर्म में है उसके आधे से भी कम हो गई हैं, जो सैंड माइनिंग माफिया पे जो एफआईआर होती थी। पर चलिए पॉलिटिक्स को छोड़ दीजिए, बहुत सारे एक्टिविस्ट हैं जो इससे जुड़े हुए हैं, वो तो कह रहे हैं कि अभी सीबीआई की मांग होनी चाहिए, इन केसेस को सीबीआई को दे देना चाहिए और उनको इन्वेस्टिगेट करना चाहिए।
देखिए, अभी हम इसको जो कल्प्रिट्स हैं उनको हम इसमें पकड़ रहे हैं और आवश्यकता होगी, कोई जांच करानी होगी तो हम जांच करा भी देंगे। हमें उसमें कोई संकोच नहीं है क्योंकि ये क्लियर कट केस है और जिस प्रकार से कुचला गया है ये बिल्कुल सामने है बाकी कर्मचारियों के। तो अगर कोई जांच करानी होगी हम करा भी देंगे।
विज साहब, बस एक आखिरी सवाल पूछूंगी कि अब आप कॉन्फिडेंस कैसे नियुक्त करेंगे जो आपके ऑफिसर्स हैं? एक डीएसपी की हत्या हुई है सर, जो एसपी हैं वो भी कह रहे थे कि उनके ऊपर भी एक हमला किया गया था, बस उनकी जान बच गई, बहुत बड़ी बात है। पर क्या अब हरियाणा एक एग्जाम्पल सेट करेगा? अनिल विज साहब कहते हैं ना, अब बहुत हो गया, कुछ पुख्ता स्टेप्स लिए जाएंगे।
देखो, माइनिंग के बारे में मैं आपको ज्यादा बता नहीं पाऊंगा क्योंकि माइनिंग एक अलग मंत्रालय है, अलग उसका मंत्री है। तो हम तो माइनिंग वालों की मदद करते हैं। हमें जब माइनिंग डिपार्टमेंट कहता है, जहां वो आवश्यकता समझता है, जितनी पुलिस चाहता है हम उतनी पुलिस देते हैं। लेकिन जो माइनिंग डिपार्टमेंट की नीतियां हैं वो माइनिंग डिपार्टमेंट बनाता है।
चलिए विज साहब, बहुत शुक्रिया हमसे जुड़ने का। आई वांट टू कट अक्रॉस राइट नाउ टू दीपिंदर हुड्डा, हु इज आल्सो जॉइनिंग अस फॉर मोर। मिस्टर हुड्डा, you know the fact is this is not the doing of just the Bharatiya Janata Party. We had Mr. Anil Vij earlier, and he elucidated in detail as well the kind of illegal sand mining that used to take place under the Huda rule, if one might say, where Haryana is concerned, or your government of the Congress during that time.
This particular incident which has happened in New today, it is a symbol of the state of affairs in Haryana. The law and order situation has completely collapsed, and you know, there are two aspects to it. First, the law and order. Haryana over the last couple of years is now emerging as the safe ground for all the gangs, lot of gangs which are operating, mafia which is operating, cross-border gangs which are operating. Haryana is seen as a safe haven for all these, and a lot of youngsters, because of the kind of unsuccessful policies of the state government, the youngsters are destroying their future, and they are getting attracted into this game of the gangs, the mafia, and what have you. I want to tell you also, so just before this incident, in the last 10 days, 5 MLAs of Haryana have received death threats from these gangs. 5. We have met the governor, we brought it to his knowledge, we met the speaker. In fact, one of the MLAs was even ready to resign, because when his own family was threatened like that, he was so distressed. It was only after assurance of the speaker that that MLA decided to continue. So that's the situation. People who make the law, the legislators, they are not safe. People who are responsible for enforcing the law, the police, they are not safe. You see, a DSP level officer was crushed by a dumper today. So how can common man feel safe? And the whole responsibility of the total collapse of a law and order situation in Haryana lies with the state government. That's one part. The other part is the corruption. See, this the incident is the mining mafia. This is not the first incident of illegal mining and mining mafia. If you look at the last 6 months, there was an incident in Tosham, Bhiwani, where 4 people died. There was an incident in Mahendragarh where one person lost his life. There was another couple of incidents in Yamunanagar where there was fights and firings amongst groups. Then even in Mewed, even in Nu, where the current incident took place, even few days back, SP had to run in his car to save his life because of illegal mining. So this mining mafia, the corruption, rampant corruption, this is not, they are not working in isolation. They are being provided complete protection by the higher authorities in the state government. And it is not just mining mafia. Liquor mafia is raising its ugly head somewhere. Mining mafia is raising, because the government is mired in corruption. BJP and JJP have distributed their portfolios in a way. There are certain ministers who are looting the state. And unfortunately, this is a mix of collapse of law and order and rampant corruption, for which if somebody is responsible, he is the chief minister.
Dipinder Hooda, appreciate you joining us, but one would reckon at this point of time, and if you look at just cold plain figures, and we're going to put that out during the course of this debate, sir, the fact is one government is not holier than the other. If one looks at just plain figures, the Congress government in Haryana mirrors what is happening today under the BJP government. And that brings us the bigger question. Is it time now to come down with the heaviest of hands? I want to cut across for our political face-off this evening. Vaibhav Agarwal, political analyst, Rohan Gupta, spokesperson Congress, both of us then join us. Vaibhav Agarwal, let me take you through 3 incidents that have happened in the last 24 hours. Number 1, of course, is what happened in Nu, a DSP, Haryana officer, police officer killed. Jharkhand, a sub-inspector killed. In Gujarat, a police constable killed. If you look at, and we'll give you, the figures there, the kind of FIRs in Haryana that have been registered against the sand mafia last year are just 20% of what they have been in previous years. Why is there such a light hand? All right, okay, may I just come to you, sir? Would you give me a minute? I want to cut across to the Deputy CM of Haryana, Dushyant Chautala, now joins us on the phone line. Mr. Chautala, appreciate you joining us, sir. I understand you're in the interiors of Haryana. My first question, what is the government doing in Haryana to battle the biggest scourge? If you look at the import of illegal sand mining, it's huge, and now it's affecting, your officers, a DSP level officer killed.
And then it's really, you are, you have constant team.
Mr. Chautala, we are having a problem with your audio line. We're going to try and reconnect that. We are having a problem with your audio line. We're going to try and reconnect that. Mr. Chautala, can you hear? All right, we're going to try and reconnect that. But Vaibhav Agarwal, would you take that question? Go ahead.
Yeah, so Preeti, see, illegal mining in the Aravallis, you belong to Haryana, you're more aware than I am. It's not an easy terrain to watch. And the way I see it, I'm very sad at the way the martyr was martyred and slain officer Surendra Singh was slain by the illegal mafia. But the idea is that we have to understand the state government has been putting in a lot of effort. This is the second term for the government, and I think we need to appreciate some of the efforts that the state government has done in the past few years. Now, in just alone 2021 to 2023. Just till date, just in last 2 years, we see about 400 plus FIRs that have been registered. There have been a DLTF, which is a district level task force that has been constituted to monitor illegal mining in the areas under the deputy commissioners and the DCs and the SDMs wherever they are situated, wherein a whole reporting, a dotted line and a direct line goes to the Home Ministry of the state as well as the mining department. And there is a very well coordinated and oiled machinery between the Home Ministry and the mining ministry, where they talk to each other and they try to curb this. But it's not an easy task. And we also understand that politicizing something like this will be unnecessary because the data speaks for itself. And if we pick up, since the ban happened, if we pick up the data since 2002, the first incident took place in 1995 when uproar happened, and then Supreme Court issued the ban, and NGT interfered and so on. 2002 to 2012, there were several incidences. I know of about 800 odd FIRs which have been lodged during that time. Okay. And none of the cases have seen...
Mr. Agrawal, with your permission, may I just come in again? You know, we've just connected back, and I apologize. I know we are having a bit of a connectivity issue with the Deputy CM, but I want to bring him in because it concerns, his state. Mr. Chautala, if you can hear me, sir, the fact is, the import of sheer numbers, if we actually look at it in terms of sand mining, in the term of the JJP, BJP, are actually more than the Congress.
Actually, this is not sand mining, this is illegal stone mining, which has been moving along the border of Rajasthan and Haryana in the past decades. We have been trying to stop it by putting special nakas. We've constituted special teams for that. But there are multiple inter-village roads on the border side which are not even motorable roads, which are used. And the incident which happened yesterday to the tragic incident, and it happened on a rough path there. And our officers went there only to stop this thing from happening.
Mr. Chautala, the question that is being asked is, of course, I want to ask you what is that the government of Haryana is going to do to instill confidence, especially in your officers right now, after an incident like that. But the charge which is being laid by the Congress is that this government is interested in only catching the small fish and letting go of the big fish.
We have already rounded off the vehicle. We have already rounded off the owners, the operators of that vehicle. We have formed 10 teams which are already searching, 5 CIA teams and 5 teams from 3 different polices. We will definitely catch these people involved within the next 24 hours, and the strictest action which is possible will be taken against those people. When saying that there is a big fish or a small fish, it's one truck which has been operated there, which was involved in this incident. It is not a regular mining area where something happens very regularly. Mewed has been a region which has been connected to Alwar, and that area, because Rajasthan, the mining is open. This belt is the Aravallis belt. We don't have mining here. But there is illegal movement of stone. These people are evading taxes. They are not having proper loading in their vehicles. And government has formulated many action plans in the past also to stop such activities to happen.
Mr. Chautala, I'll ask you one quick question, sir, before I let you go. Is, your government now going to be, at least by example, change certain policies, because there are a few policies which are very troublesome where mining is concerned?
If there is any suggestion from your part also, yes, we are going to do changes, but we'll be more than happy to include those also. How we can make it stricter, how we can have better monitoring. Haryana has the best e-Ravana system monitoring of all mining vehicles. Haryana has put in officers from various departments to the mining department to have better monitoring on this. But yes, if there is any more ideas that we can implement, we'll be more than happy.
Mr. Chautala, appreciate you joining us. I know you've taken the time out. You're in the middle of the hinterland in Haryana. Thank you. I want to cut across right now to Rohan Gupta. Rohan Gupta, the fact is, it's easy to blame the Bharatiya Janata Party here, but you know, look at the track record of every state. You know, one can look at Rajasthan, one can look at even the term of Mr. Hooda in Haryana. Not very, very different.
Yeah, Preeti, I think this is not only BJP, JJP alliance government. There is one more partner to this alliance, is this illegal mafia, mining mafia. I'll show you one document. In 2019, CAG had alleged this government of 5,000 crore mining scam. There is no action taken by this government after that. 95 mining blocks, illegal mining blocks. The government had no information that how much mining is done in these blocks. If you read the CAG report, you will understand that why this is happening. Why our police have to pay price of this kind of irregularity by BJP government? And this is the document I am showing. The kind of cases they have lost for illegal mining, there is no concrete action, Preeti. There is absolutely no concrete action. The money which should have gone to the oxygen of the state, it is going to the politicians. So I think this is because of the deliberate action of BJP government of Haryana, and I think they have to do something concrete. In 2019, Congress raised this issue multiple times, but since then no action has been taken actually on ground.
But Rohan Gupta, you know, there's a point which the Deputy CM made and you heard him, and it's a valid point. Where did this, you know, take place? It was illegal stone mining, not sand mining in question. It took place, this incident, in Nu, which borders Rajasthan. You and I both know in Mewed, the area which comes in Rajasthan, the mining is worse.
See, again,
the illegal mining is worse.
That's what. If you read CAG report, they have clearly said that money which should have gone to the exchequer of the state government is not going because the government is not even recognizing that there are 95 blocks where there is stuff for mining.
But Rohan Gupta, does the Rajasthan government recognize that? It's happening in Rajasthan as well. It's a border right in the middle where illegal mining, stone mining is taking place in the Mewed region of Rajasthan as well as in Haryana. Equal responsibility there, no?
If there are instances like this in every state, but then you have to see what is the quantum. What I'm trying to show you is CAG report that every year 5,000 crore has been lost because of the inaction of the state government. I'm not saying this government is good or bad, but my point here is, so if from 2019, if there is no action which is taken by state Haryana government, obviously the moral of these illegal miners is going to be high. And that's why they could had this kind of courage to kill one DSP in the state. This has never happened, I think.
Fair enough, really okay, fair enough. Vaibhav Agrawal, the quantum is what is being quoted by Rohan Gupta, and he's not far from the truth there.
Rohan Bhai is absolutely not right. In 2019, when Selja Kumari ji did a press conference, I was on a debate with Rohan Bhai on one of the networks, and we had discussed it then. Let me remind him and recollect the memory. 1,476 crores of revenue was to be lost. Maybe the quantum is 1,476 supposed crores. Dinesh Chadda was the RTI activist at that time who brought in this, and CAG marked this report to the BJP government, and that is when the BJP government took the strictest of the action to go down to the root of the problem by launching the E-Ravana. E-Ravana, I don't even know if Rohan Bhai will have an idea about the E-Ravana plan that the BJP government launched, but E-Ravana is a plan, is a scheme at the state government which is to use satellite imagery to monitor illegal mining, and that is how the state government started to take action on this. It's a long haul process. It's not an easy process. It's not a child's play. And and I think Rohan Bhai would appreciate when I bring
Rohan
up
Gupta, quickly come back. Okay, Rohan Gupta wants to make a point, and then I will wrap the show. Rohan Gupta, go ahead.
I want to show you the document of CAG which clearly says per year 2,133 crores, in 2 years 5,000 crores. This is the CAG document. So I think let's not argue on this. The idea is very clear, is from 2019, if the instances have increased, why your FIRs have gone down? Why
there's
the
no
number
point
of
if we
FIRs
talk over
have
each
gone
other.
down?
Nobody
What is
can
the
hear
action
anyone.
been taken against these people? Absolutely no action.
All right.
Rohan Bhai, your point is taken. I absolutely buy on it, and I absolutely say that it's a menace that has to be curbed. You look at Dushyant Bhai talking so strictly on this. I think it is a very big thing when the leaders start taking examples from everyone in life to say that if you find something wrong, let us know and we'll have an action taken. I think that's hats off. And then the E-Ravana scheme was a very big success. You have to understand about 400 plus FIRs were lodged. Out of those 400,
all right. You know, with the permission of both my guests, thank you. I want to, bow out of this debate. We just want to leave our viewers with one question, because it's not just pertaining to one particular government. We've seen the import of figures. To give you that again, 418 people are killed by the illegal mining mafia in the country. Is it time now, once again, and I will say it, to draw that proverbial line in the sand when it comes to the scourge of illegal sand mining? We leave it at that. To stay with us.